everyone, my name is Chelsea Bilandreas, and today I'm going to make a final project for Introduction to English Linguistics. So for the final project is I make a research and a video while I doing a presentation. So this is my PowerPoint presentation from my research that I've already made. So okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit from my research by using this PowerPoint, like the purpose why I choose this into the Netflix as my research as as my research project, as my research paper. Okay, so let's go to the background of study. Okay, so here are the reasons. Like, I chose this topic because I'm interested in the character dialogues. But I only mentioned character, not characters. It means I only interested in one character. And the conversations in Into the Night are simple but meaningful, making them easy to understand while still emotional. But then here, I only choose one of my favorite character. It's Matthew, as the focus of my research because his way of speaking stands out. His dialogue is clear and firm, showing leadership and emotional control, which makes him suitable for synthetic analysis. So basically, I'm not going to do a research for the storyline, but I'm gonna do the research for about one of my favorite character from Into the Night. Yeah, it's Matthew. Actually, it's because like I really like his role, so that's why I choose him as my object research in this project. Even though the time, yeah, even though like actually, even though I used the title of Into the Night, it's because like he is the part of that movie. Okay, so the next one is the benefits. So here we actually, I actually want to tell you guys about the benefits of this research. Not only about this research, but the benefits of what I got from doing this research, from doing this syntax research. So this research benefits both linguistic studies and media analysis. Okay, so linguistic studies. So since why linguistic studies? Because I use a lot of journal references, and also the media analysis, which means the Into the Night one, the TV show. Theoretically, it helps explain how syntax works in real context, showing that sentence structure is closely connected to speakers' intention, emotions, and relationships, especially in high-risk situations. So, since why it's high-risk situations, since Into the Night Netflix is about it. This is not. This is a little bit spoiler alert. Since Into the Night Netflix is about surviving from the sun. Like the sun is killing all the humanity, and they need to fly into the night so that the sun, to avoid the sun, and the sun didn't kill them. So that's why I call it as the high-grade situations. This supports linguistic studies that emphasize the role of syntax in shaping meaning, and communications. Methodo- Methodologically, the study contributes to research that applies linguistic theories to film and television dialogue. So synthetics is not only the storyline or about the storyline or something or the situations, but the dialogue is more important because in everyday dialogue we realize that we are using the syntax every day in conversation. Maybe we don't realize, but every time we speak, we can do an analysis of syntax in it. So that's why I call this like dialogue because mostly people mostly syntax also um analyze about dialogue because it's way more simple. If the storyline, it's still possible, but it's gonna be take a long time to do an analysis of the storyline. So that's why I choose the dialogue. It demonstrates how syntax and pragmatic. So actually, in my research, I also use the approach of pragmatics and syntax, how they were connected to each other, how important this two part of this in the dialogue. So can be combined to analyze non-literary media, highlighting that film dialogue often functions beyond simply delivering informations. Okay, so that's like I explained before because besides that the dialogue functions in the television series was also delivering information. So which just mean that make the analysis make it more simple and understandable. It's because the dialogue. It depends which dialogue, but for me, it's like every dialogue can be we can do an analysis in every dialogue, especially in syntax. Okay, so the next one is research question. The first one, how's Matthew's syntactic structure reflect the theme of survival in Into the Night, and the second one, in what way do Matthew's synthetic patterns contract his identity as a calm, responsible leader in a survival context? Okay, so I'm gonna answer this, but actually in my research there are a lot of answer, but this is just what I got. I mean, like in my analysis, there's this kind of a syntax table, but I'm not gonna show here. It's in my research, but this is what I'm gonna answer from the part one and part two. The important point of this question. Okay, the next. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, discussions. Matthew, how does Matthew synthetic structures reflect the theme of survival to the night? Okay, it's a very actually this is already the shorter one because there's a lot of discussions in my research. Okay, so I will read it. So, meta-synthetic structures in Little Night strongly reflect the theme of survival because the sentences are shaped by urgency, clarity, and responsibility. Okay, so in here, actually, I want to explain too. Okay. Oh, there's the sentence there. Okay, let's just continue. After this, I'm gonna explain this. In many scenes, Matthew uses a simple declarative sentence. Okay, let's stop here. Declarative sentences. Declarative sentences is a new it's a new definition. So while analyzing this, I got a lot of new information. I got a lot of new words like declarative sentences. The definitions is the simple one is a sentences that was used for clear firm information. That's the meaning. The shorter meaning. Okay. Which are known for delivering information directly and reducing ambiguity. So it's clear enough to explain and understandable. So one example in this slide is your safety is my responsibility. Although grammatically simple, the sentence carries strong emotional weight. Okay, so talking about syntax, it's not only like talking about syntax tree, like analyzing the tree of syntax like in every each words, no, but in syntax we also like we can know what's the meaning of the behind all of this, like we also can know the emotional weight and the research or the feelings or something. And the latter sentences like these often function as indirect speech acts, meaning they do more than state facts. Okay, so this one is based on what I saw from the journal. Okay, let's just go to the next discussions. Okay, it's still the same. What ways to Meta-syntactic patterns contract his identity as a calm responsible leader in a survival context. Okay, so this is the second line. I really like this line. Like in this line, I'm not saying I'm giving up. Okay, so but I need you to promise that if I slow you down, you have to leave me. Matthew's synthetic patterns reveal a controlled and selfless form of leadership. Like he didn't he didn't care about of his ego anymore. Like he thought that okay, as long as others safe, I'm okay with it. Like he was like sacrifice as a leader. He was like sacrifice himself so that the other people can survive. Like this is to show truly like a true leader, like not to bark orders or something. His speech balanced assertion, reasoning, and conditional responsibility, allowing him to communicate comments even in their situation. This structure reinforces identity as a leader who prioritizes the group's survival of his own. Okay, I think that's all. But this is actually more like the character explanations, but yeah, this is still in the syntactics. Okay, so for the syntax informations, like actually there are a lot in my research, but this is just what I got. This is only like the shorter detail, but yeah, this in this word, I'm not saying I'm giving up. We can do a syntax analysis on it, like making a syntax tree or the syntax table. But that was all in my research paper. But this is just like the PowerPoint. This is still as a declarative form. So in syntax, I also know that there's this kind of declarative sentence. So this is like a new definitions, new them. So I got a lot of benefits after I do a an analysis of the syntax. Like I've got a lot of new definitions, a lot of new words, vocabulary, and others. Not only that, I can improve my I can improve my syntax analysis because of this research. Okay, let's just go to the conclusion. Sorry. Okay, this research aimed to understand how syntax, the structure, and the arrangement of words in a sentence contribute to the characterizations of Matthew in Into the Night. A series centered on reducing survival and human fragility. Like my analysis, the patterns in Matthew's dialogue, particularly his declarative and conditional sentences. It's not only declarative, but there's a lot of grammatically structures in his sentence, like a grammar stuff, like simple past or all of indirect speech and direct speech. But that's why this is the important part. So balancing patterns in Matthew's dialogue, particularly declarative and conditional sentences, the study shows that his language is not merely written for dramatic effect. Okay, I think it's a little bit deep, but instead his synthetic choices plays a key role in shaping him as a calm, responsible leader who bears the emotional burden of protecting others. So that's why um his synthetic choices means like that's the importance of syntax. If I explain this, it would took a long time. It would like took forever because syntax is not like syntax tree that I explained before. Not only like analyzing words one by one, but syntax also represents about the emotion, the feeling behind the dialogue, the feeling behind these characters or something, and it's more like into the deep part of the grammar stuff. So that's why the importance syntax is really important in our life. I mean, like in our communications in academic readings, because syntax also help us to understand the sentence structure more easily. Like if we already know the basic grammar, we can do a syntax analysis. Like if we already know the basic, we can like slowly but surely we can do the analysis of the syntax. So that's why it's important, and this is why the reason I choose this syntax analysis. So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much, and goodbye.